Government reviews demerit-point rollout. The government has begun reviewing the proposed implementation of Jamaica's traffic demerit-point system, following concerns about its structure and the country's substantial backlog of unresolved traffic tickets. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says representatives from the relevant ministries are conducting the review. A preliminary report is expected in September and will guide the government's final decisions, including whether the planned October 1st implementation date should be changed. The assessment will examine outstanding tickets, the legal implications of proposed amendments, and calls for an amnesty on unresolved traffic matters. Vaz says consultations will also involve the judiciary and other stakeholders. Under the proposed system, drivers would accumulate points for offenses such as speeding and could face license suspension after reaching the prescribed threshold. Points below the suspension threshold would expire after 15 months. Major fire devastates St. Elizabeth farmland. Approximately 20 farmers are being affected by a major fire that swept through agricultural lands in Little Park, Gillard, and Pedro Plains area of southwest St. Elizabeth. Preliminary assessments indicate that the blaze consumed approximately 50 hectares of farmland. The reported losses include around 20 water storage tanks, large quantities of grass being prepared for mulch, tripods, and other agricultural equipment. Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says teams from the Rural Agricultural Development Authority have been dispatched to assess and document the damage. He has promised that the affected farmers will receive assistance intended to help them restart production as quickly as possible. The precise value of the losses and the cause of the fire have not yet been announced. Jamaica and Ghana expand cooperation. Jamaica and Ghana have agreed to deepen cooperation in healthcare, tourism, education, defense, and air transportation following bilateral talks at Jamaica House. Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Ghanaian President John Mahama held discussions during the West African leader's four-day state visit. Jamaica has signed an agreement to recruit Ghanaian health professionals, along with a memorandum of understanding covering defense cooperation. Holness says nurses are expected to arrive from Ghana to support Jamaica's healthcare system. The two countries also explore the possibility of direct flights between Accra and Montego Bay. Other areas identified for greater investment and trade include logistics, agro-processing, financial technology, information and communications technology, tourism, and the creative industries. St. Mary teacher charged following gun seizure. A teacher from St. Mary has been charged after the police allegedly discovered an illegal firearm and ammunition during a search of his home in Albion Mountain, Port Maria. The accused has been identified as 34-year-old Shane Frost, otherwise called Frass. Investigators says officers acting under a search warrant entered the premises at approximately 6:20 on Saturday morning. The police reportedly seized a .38 special revolver, a Glock magazine, and 7 assorted rounds of ammunition. Frost has been charged with 2 counts of possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition. The allegations have not been proven in court, and his first court date is being arranged. Police investigates killing of teenager in St. Thomas. Detectives in St. Thomas are investigating the death of a 17-year-old boy whose body was discovered in the Bamboo River community of Morant Bay on Sunday. The teenager has been identified as Ajani Christie of Greater Portmore, St. Catherine. According to the police, residents discovered his body at approximately 7:50 in the morning and alerted the authorities. Investigators say the teenager had sustained multiple chop wounds. He was taken to Princess Margaret Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. No motive has been established, and the Morant Bay Criminal Investigation Branch is leading the investigation. Those are the leading stories in Jamaica this morning. The government's review of the demerit-point system will be closely watched as the proposed October implementation date approaches. Meanwhile, agricultural officials are assessing the damage left by the St. Elizabeth fire, and investigators continue their work in 2 separate criminal cases. Subscribe to Jamaica News Now, activate notifications, and share this roundup with Jamaicans at home and across the diaspora. I'm your host. Thank you for watching, and have a safe and productive day. Subscribe today, turn on notifications, and never miss the stories that matter most. Jamaica News Now, your Highlands, your news, right now.